And I'm picking my nose.
Just put this on. Do not disturb. So we don't get disturbed. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Give us a few moments to get started. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
What up, everybody?
How's everybody doing today?
Random Friday, so I don't know how many people we got here right now.
We got 8 so far. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Raw Real Podcast. We are your hosts. With me, as always, is Coach Tony T. And this week, I'm Insane Shane.
Insane Shane, nobody calls you that.
Insane in the membrane.
By the way, we have to copyright that because we have our boy Sevi Soul who created that, and so you took my idea.
We're giving them all the props, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Sevi Soul. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this week we'll be covering what's trending, the great debate, conspiracy.
Sevi Soul joined. Welcome, Sevi.
Welcome, Sevi.
Nobody calls you that.
And last but not least, what peeves me off. Tony, we've got our first sponsor of the evening. It's Pop Art Boy.
Pop Art Boy.
If you're looking to elevate your walls of your home or office with an eye-popping, conversation-starting custom art piece, look no further because Pop Art Boy has everything you need to bring your vision to life. No pun intended. You can book a free consultation by going to Instagram to discuss your design options along with pricing. And in just 2 short weeks, you'll have a beautiful custom canvas to hang on your home or office wall. It's sure to draw customers into your store as well as make a picture memory pop. Book your consultation today by going to his Instagram page at Pop Art Boy. Thank you very much, Pop Art Boy.
Thank you. And just to advise everybody, this design right here, this little square, is by Pop Art Boy.
Everything you see here, guys.
They even created the logo. Yeah, man, with collaborative effort.
They provide
very
us
easy.
with multiple design options to select from. We gave them a general idea of what we were looking for, and they were able to provide us with many samples to choose from. A very professional service. We love you very much. And Pop Art Boy, we wish you nothing but the best.
All right, baby.
All right.
Pop Art Boy.
Let's get into it. It's Fuck It Fridays, ladies and gentlemen. We usually don't air on Fridays, but this week we've got a heavy schedule, so we decided to mix things up a bit.
Yeah, I skipped last week my birthday, skipped Father's Day, so this weekend I'm going to my father's on Sunday. He lives like about an hour. Nice little farm area. I'm telling you, people who live in this style, they're going to live longer than me. My father's going to live longer than me. He's so relaxed. Whenever we go there, it's like a vacation. And, of course, my father-in-law also, we're going to see him tomorrow. So all the Father's Day's duties for me is going on this week because my birthday took over. It's been a hectic June, man, for me.
How dare you steal the shine on Father's Day, Tony?
Hey, it is what it is, man.
But it was your 40th birthday. So
I'm more important than everybody.
Absolutely.
That's how it is.
I agree. All right, folks, getting into the first topic of what's trending. I know a lot of you have been following the social media news regarding the commercial submarine that went missing exploring the Titanic.
You're here. Sorry, too soon. It is sad. It is sad, though.
But ladies and gentlemen, there's been a lot of news and a lot of talk about this particular vessel. Even James Cameron, the director of the Titanic, who is one of the individuals who has explored the Titanic more than anybody else. I think there's only one more individual. He even wrote a letter to the company saying, we've got some serious concerns about the integrity of the vessel that you're using and its ability to withstand pressure at a certain depth. The company decided to ignore all these letters that were being written to them from various agencies and associations and individuals with their concerns. And well, they've found themselves in quite a bit of a hot seat, Tony. What do you think?
Yeah, especially if James Cameron mentioned it, and there's other sources coming out mentioning that it was done days ago.
Yes.
Because the whole thing was like, oh, there's this much oxygen left. There was news media that had a countdown
Yes.
of how long the oxygen was gonna last. Well, look,
the Coast Guard, and the U.S. Navy already knew
Yeah.
within seconds of the vessel imploding. Which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not aware, the vessel imploded shortly after it took off. Once it hit a certain depth of about, I think it was 1,000 meters, the vessel imploded. And they have some listening technology, the Navy does, and they were able to hear the sound, reported it to the Coast Guard. But yet, mainstream media, just like you said, Tony, was saying, oh, we're hopeful that they're still alive, and, the vessel's this big, and there's this much oxygen left, and so on and so forth. So why do you think that they were giving people hope when they already knew that, the individuals on the vessel had died instantaneously upon it imploding?
Look, I'll give, how I am. I always give benefit of the doubt even to murderers. I'll give benefit of the doubt. I'm empathetic like that, and I always try to see both sides of the fence. I'm not ready to always jump on it, although, I wouldn't know why they would do that, but maybe it's to make sure that that information is correct. I don't know what they were thinking, maybe for the families, for the sensitivity, but it is weird that they knew it, since Monday or Tuesday?
Yes,
it's been a few days since the beginning of the week they knew it.
Had the information. And you know what else is weird? Kathy says their own employee mentioned or brought up their concerns back in 2018. And that individual, known as the whistleblower, was terminated. His employment was terminated as a result of him addressing his concerns. So yeah, that's pretty weird. But you know what else is weird, Tony? Is the individuals who occupied the vessel. Some of these individuals were billionaires, my friend. And it begs the question, was this a conspiracy to get rid of some of these billionaires because of their influence or their financial influence?
Look, again, there can be a lot of things in, because these tours have been there for quite a while. So for there to be an issue, I don't know. But I've seen a video, and look, I don't know if it's true, but that submarine, it was bolted by hand. There's stuff like that you hear.
It was made of fiberglass.
Yeah.
It wasn't even made of steel or iron.
But look, again, they've done a lot of tours, a bunch of them. How many? Over hundreds more, right?
I don't have those statistics.
That's what they've said. Also, in addition, the hand bolts. Look, man, I don't know what it can be. The billionaires there. I know there was something where there was an issue with hiring. They wanted to hire. Somebody said something about safety not being an issue, which is weird to me. There's that news that came out, but like, look, you're doing these tours underwater. No, it's a news. And if Kathy said it, like she heard it, and I heard it as well, that apparently they didn't care. They want to hire with inclusivity instead of maybe an expert. But that's a bit bizarre. Like,
it really is.
To me.
Keep in mind, the individual that was hired for that position, the safety advisor, he had worked for the Navy. He had worked for NASA. All right, working on similar types of vessels, gauging the pressure.
So doesn't that debunk that kind of?
I mean,
it's not like the Alec Baldwin thing where the person handling the gun, they did it for inclusivity, and it was the daughter of somebody. Like, somebody was joking around. You want a Republican to handle, the Alec Baldwin thing. Remember, accidentally shot Alec Baldwin, and honestly, he shouldn't go to jail. Like, he thinks it's a prop gun.
Right.
But people were joking. You want Andrew Schultz was saying, you want a Republican handling the gun. Like, you don't care about inclusivity. You want somebody that knows the gun. Yeah, NRA type of people. You want the right person in the position. That doesn't mean that person always gotta be white or whatever it is. It can be somebody who is experienced and diverse. I
say for those types of jobs, you absolutely want an expert. You want an expert that comes with accolades and credentials and experience. You definitely don't want, somebody who's just going to drink the corporate Kool-Aid and, tag along with whatever the organization is doing. I'm actually proud that this individual spoke out, which, by the way, goes against his employment agreement, and he's being sued for it. So not only was he fired, but he's being sued for it as well because it goes against his employment contract. But ultimately, he's looking out for the health and safety of the public who can afford to take this expedition. And by the way, guys, as wonderful and miraculous as the Titanic is, I don't think there's a surmisable amount of money that you could pay me to go exploring down and seeing the Titanic. But Tony, I also want to mention there is a conspiracy with regards to the Titanic where the Rothschilds, all right, purposely sank the Titanic because their adversaries, their very wealthy adversaries, were on that ship. But you know what they did? They boarded the ship, and then moments before the ship was about to take off, the Rothschilds debarked from the train, from the ship itself.
Oh, that wasn't in the movie.
That wasn't in the movie.
No, but look, man, honestly, anything is possible when you have people with money. We talk about this. And look, man, I got a friend. We all have friends who like to go into rabbit holes. And sometimes, yeah, man, I fall like I'm down with what you're saying, they bring up sometimes good points. But one time, brings up a thing where a guy was doing a football celebration and he did the fake as though the glove was sticking on it.
Yes.
And then he took out the glove, but the glove fell. I'm like, bro, if you're going to show me conspiracy, don't show me this.
Yeah, not
don't show me this.
Not everything in life is rigged.
Yeah.
Everything in life
like there was this guy who did a big play. There was a big comeback with the Vikings against the Colts. It's like, this guy's not going for the tackle, this guy. But I'm like, no. But in football, you have to take the right angles. If you commit too much, the guy's going to cut, and now you're stuck. So there's certain things, when they show me that. But look, it is possible. Like, I will never discount somebody saying something that can be that way because, again, we spoke and we'll speak all the time about it. Sevi Soul, if I sound repetitive, I apologize. Sevi Soul likes to say,
how many times have you heard this story?
The Wu-Tang song that went #1 triumph. I've told Sevi Soul many times, drunken talk. He's like, Tony, you told me the story yesterday. Sorry, Sevi. but it is, some things are like, it's never out of the question. I lie to Mike. Look, God, for a lot of people, God is the ultimate creator, right? But, my younger cousin, at that time she was 11, she's like, if God is real, why do people die? Why are people mean? Right. Like, look, I lie to my kids. You think God created all these people? You think there's not going to be bad seeds? No, it's always like that. There's this one video I've seen of a stork, in the nest. There's a video of it. And there's a baby stork that is pinching the other storks, storks. The stork takes the bad seed, throws it off
out of the nest.
Yeah, out of the nest. There's going to be bad seeds, and there's going to be people like the Rothschilds who have money and who can pay and who can get shit done. And people are always going to question it. You've seen House of Cards, right?
Yes,
where they kill people. That's kind of Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton. They've killed people. People say that stuff. Now this thing about misinformation that's coming out where they hide stories. Apparently Biden was impeached. There's the news that he's impeached, but it's not on media. Nobody wants to say that. But
only the right-wing media will show that. So Fox will show it. But I think what Tony's trying to say at the end of the day, I think it's important to have an open mind when you're, hearing stories or listening to things or people recanting or citing, articles that they've read. I think it's important to have an open mind. And at the same time, if you're going to be a critical thinker, you should be looking into the things that you're absorbing as well, so that you can determine what is fact from false, right?
And again, there's evil people out there. That's in Hollywood. It's at the top. There's some good people in Hollywood too, I'm sure, but there's also, Mark Wahlberg with his prayer with Mario Gomez.
Yes.
They do a prayer and he wants to stick to his Christianity. And even if you're, let's say, Muslim, Muslim people, they get bad reps because of extremists. But in generally speaking, Muslim people, they're kind, although Christians they're really
Well,
extreme about it.
KKK
But you know,
members are Christian. KKK members are
exactly,
Christian,
exactly.
so-
And look, Christians get a bad rep too, you know, because there's bad seeds. The priests with the children,
Yes.
stuff. You know, there's
in this world, there are good people and there are bad
that's it.
people. I
And
know
in
how-
any community, anything, there is bad people. And look, if Rothschild's the Titanic, they busted down. It wasn't an iceberg, whatever. It might be. Look,
we got to dig deeper into
we don't know what we don't know.
Exactly. All right, guys, moving on to the next topic of the what's trending. Facebook is refusing to post Canadian media on Facebook. And
So why is that? This is more your thing, and you're gonna have to explain it to me.
Yes.
Like I'm the audience.
Yes. So basically, right now, media in this country is publicly funded. All right. We pay taxes. The government doesn't ask us what to do with the money, and they ultimately decide to send millions, if not billions, of dollars to media organizations, which basically allows them to, influence the narratives that they want to push through the media. And essentially, they've approved a bill, Bill C-18. Now, I'm not fully educated on the bill itself, but what I do know is that it is going after social media outlets to pay their fair share based on views of local media articles. So, basically, Facebook would be on the hook for paying, whether it be CBC, CTV, Global, for any articles or for the views that the articles get.
And there's only Facebook?
This applies to all social media platforms, including Twitter, including Google, including Instagram, Facebook. Well, they're all the same. They're Meta. I don't really see much media output on TikTok other than reposted and reshared videos by individuals who are editing the video. But at the end of the day, what the government is basically saying is that if they're going to publish news articles from local media, they should be remunerated on the views that those articles get, the clicks that those articles get.
But that's bizarre because usually, generally speaking, it's a link. So if Facebook, like they're providing the link and people click on the link to go to the CTV page, isn't that better for CTV and it's causing traffic on their website due to Facebook? So why would they do this exactly?
Well, here's the thing. Content creators such as ourselves have the ability to generate revenue, right? Through views, through subscriptions. And for the longest time, these social media platforms have not been paying their fair share towards the media companies, all right, who have been publishing on these social media outlets. So from the standpoint of these social media giants, they're saying, well, why would we pay for something that we haven't been paying for, for years, right? And now they're trying to introduce legislation to force them to pay for it. So ultimately, what they want companies like Facebook and Instagram to pay the media outlets for the clicks and views that they're getting on their platform. Which, to be honest with you, I would much prefer that we put the onus on the public, right? If the public wants to watch CBC and if the public wants to watch CTV and Global, then why don't you guys have a telethon, all right, like PBS used to do, all right? And why don't you fundraise for some money? And those people who want CBC and, CTV and global related news, they could pay for it.
That's it.
To be honest with you, Tony and I participated in the Truckers Convoy here in Canada, and we didn't think that fake news or fake media would make its way to Canada as we've seen in the United States. But after the first evening, let me tell you, it was an eye-opener. CBC had a lot of things to say about individuals like me and Tony.
Yeah.
And I no longer support the CBC, my friend.
Me neither. And that's when I realized, that's where I sided a bit more with Fox because it was crazy. Like, obviously, the whole racism, misogynist. Meanwhile, there's a bunch of women there. There's a bunch of people from different countries. Sikh people, French from France, Serbian flags, Jamaican, Caribbean flags, whatever it is. It was all there, man. It was all there. There was from Asian to any kind of nationality that you can think of was there. And I remember I had told one of my friends who said, "Oh, anybody who was there at the convoy," and I told him, "Look, man, bro, you know me.
Yeah.
You know how I am. So I'm telling you right now." My uncle too said it to me. I'm like, I'm telling you right now. We walked all, and we only saw maybe like one little group of guys that were like Trump guys, but like they didn't seem to me to be the racist type, you know, like.
Look,
But like, there's gonna be bad seeds again. We
Yes.
talk. There's bad seeds everywhere.
And the media, because of the Liberal Party influence, decided to focus on that one bad seed. Dick Dosky says, no one would donate to CBC or Global, etc. I wholeheartedly agree.
We agree with you.
I think that as of the last recent years, the younger generation, all right, the younger generation who can access the internet and who can access Google and know how to use Google, I don't think they have much faith in, we'll call it legacy media, right? No. So I think today's day and age, the younger generation is moving away from that legacy media.
Yeah, but I still think a lot of those, even though they still follow the liberal type media, whether it's on Twitter, Facebook, or whatever, and they're the same. They think like the left wing is complete crazy. Right wing is complete crazy. They cannot think through the middle because, again, me too. When I was younger, Democratic, liberal, I used to vote this because to me these words, the word Democrat, it's it's a democracy, liberal, freedom. But it doesn't seem to me that way. And when he came out, Trudeau, and saying, these people are misogynistic, now he's talking directly at me.
Yep.
I'm like, damn, bro, I felt proud.
Calling you a racist,
I just wanted
misogynist, a non-believer in science. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, our truth is our truth, and your truth is your truth, and you're entitled to your opinions. But they really did a number in terms of dividing this country,
exactly,
dividing the people of this country. At the end of the day, I praise Facebook, although I'm not like the hugest supporter, but I praise Facebook for taking this stance. I hope other social media giants take the stance as well, because at the end of the day, let the people decide, what they want to see, what they want to digest as information, all right? And let them pay for it. At the end of the day, there are people who are subscribing to Joe Rogan, and they're paying whatever they're paying per month, to have access to the platform.
Well, they're paying for Spotify. Spotify gave a huge contract, and what was it? Was it Neil Young, or I don't know which artist it was? Like, if Joe Rogan is on, then I don't want my music on Spotify. But they didn't say nothing because the guy is what, Swedish, Norwegian? What is he? The Spotify, the owner of Spotify, and he didn't give a shit. It's Joe Rogan brought in the views. Joe Rogan is the most viewed, has the most viewed show. And then the second was Tucker Carlson, but it was like there was a big distance. And then after Tucker, there was a big distance as well. Look, man, people just want somebody that's real, that talks about real things. And I look at things everywhere, ask the questions to whether it's the right or the left. We want the proper information. Science is not an exact thing.
No,
right? What works for you might not work for somebody else. My cousin had mentioned last time you have Advil. For him, Advil works. Tylenol doesn't. Right? Tylenol should be something that works. I had a Tylenol, but it was 500 milligrams. It was prescription. I'm like, but this is going to work. Oh, but it never works. Advil always works for me. So for him, Tylenol didn't work, but that worked because it was prescription. And yeah, it was all good. But science is not an exact thing.
No,
it's different people. Different people have different opinions, and when doctors come to you and say this should work for you, if it doesn't, then we'll go to something else, because everybody's body is different, everybody's reactions are different. That's why allergies, some people have it, some people don't, to peanuts or whatever it is.
That's why when they started pushing this stuff on the media where it's safe and effective for everybody, even the hairs on the back of my wife's neck started going on fire.
I don't know where you're going with that. You said hair and your wife's back. I don't know where you're going there.
On the back of her neck, man. On the back of her neck.
Relax there.
It's an expression.
Okay.
But ultimately she said, listen, this doesn't feel right. It doesn't sound right what they're saying. Medicine is not a one size fits all. It's not a band-aid solution, right? You need to be able to give people the choice, right?
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the next topic for what's trending. The FDA approves lab-grown meat. Let me repeat. The FDA approves laboratory-grown meat. This is freaking weird, man. This is freaking weird. We have scientists who are literally taking DNA from animals and growing them in petri dishes. I don't know, Tony. How comfortable would you be eating meat that was grown in a petri dish? Ali, thank you so much for the gift. We sincerely appreciate it. Thank you for joining, guys.
Thank you very much, guys. Donation, guys, if you want to chime in on these topics, do it. And let me tell you something about the lab-grown meat. I'm going to tell you one thing. I don't know where I heard it from, but, you know, somebody had said that McDonald's have human meat. Look, there's so much meat. There's so much food. Look, I've seen this documentary several years back called Food Inc., where they're pumping the chicken with ethanol to make it bigger. So if your chicken, right, is bigger than a certain size and it's too big, you should be careful with that, okay? There's something pumped in there. And then they had done this thing where they opened, the cow was alive. They opened it and they showed the inside of the cow.
Yes. Well,
and it was black. You know, like, so, look, man, there's something happening. What is that Johnny Depp movie? It was dark. Oh, I'll figure it out. But basically, he was grinding human meat. He was killing the human, grinding the meat, and the people were eating and enjoying the meat. I wouldn't be surprised if the meat is enhanced for quantity purposes. There's no way. Look at the amount of people there are in the world. What, we're 8 billion now? 7 billion, 8 billion?
7 billion.
So you got to feed all these people. How many cows are there?
There are
like
billions of cows.
Yeah, I know, but how many cows? I mean, like, there must be something they do to fill up meat.
Oh, absolutely. They pump animals with growth hormones and steroids so that they can, you know, grow up to be abnormally
fillers on hamburgers.
Huge. And I mean, listen.
When you eat your burger, you're going to see some clear things, which are fillers.
Absolutely.
Like,
I mean, let's be realistic. Eh? The meat that we're eating at McDonald's, for instance, they've trademarked 100% beef so that they could put that
now. Oh, you know what? I was thinking in my head, and you brought it up. So I saw the commercial where they claim
Tony's excited about this
because I saw the commercial for the 100% beef that you just mentioned. I swear it was in my head. I want to bring it up. Great segue. So they show 100% beef, and then at the bottom they write for the quarter pounder,
or the quarter
pounder, or the Angus. So the rest of it, and that's why since then a lot of times I order quarter pounder. By the way, last time I ordered a few times, I ordered double quarter pounder. They give me a single. I did a complaint last time. I never got a response back. I'm gonna have to fucking complain again.
McDonald's, what are you doing, man?
I asked a double quarter pounder. You gave me single quarter pounder. You do this many times. It pisses me off. But the meat, the quarter pounder, when you eat it, it's a different taste than the regular meat. It is different, and you don't see that white filler. So that 100% beef that they claim, they're putting it in small writing that it's for the quarter pounder
only.
And when they had the Angus.
Here's the thing, guys. At the end of the day, if you're not growing your own produce, all right, and if you're not raising your own cattle or, you know, whatever farm animal it is that you like to eat, we really don't know what the hell we're eating. I mean, listen, there are laws in place where manufacturers have to list out the ingredients of all the products that we're eating. But let's be realistic, Tony. How many times do you go to the grocery store and you pick up a box and you go, well, let me read the ingredients to see what's in it before I purchase it?
Interesting fact, if you look at Fritos, the regular one, there's only 4 ingredients on it. Vegetable oil, potato, vinegar, and salt. That's it. That's it. Now, when you go Fritos barbecue, now the you know, those things where if you say 5 times fast, you would not be able to. No, so that's why a lot of time I love the Fritos, um, salt and vinegar chips. But
But at the end
generally
of the day,
speaking,
we really don't know.
no.
I mean, even at restaurants, you know what I like? There are some restaurants with an open kitchen concept. So, like when my wife and I went to Las Vegas, we went to eat at Hell's Kitchen. They have an open kitchen concept where wherever you're sitting in the restaurant, at a moment's notice, you could turn and see what was happening in the kitchen.
Well, look, unless you're being disrespectful to the, don't ever be
Don't
disrespectful,
be disrespectful to
because they will
guys.
put some garnish. You remember the movie Waiting with Ryan Reynolds? You know,
I've heard even worse horror stories than that. But listen, at the end of the day, I don't know if I'm comfortable with the Bill Gates, you know, growing these insect farms for produce, and I'm not sure that I'm comfortable with the FDA approving, you know, lab grown meat and you know, allowing the public to consume that. I sincerely hope they're labeling the meat as lab grown meat and allowing the public to decide whether or not they want to consume that. Because if they're concealing the lab grown meat, or if they're blending it in with the, you know, naturally grown meat, there's going to be a problem. People should know about that, absolutely, because we don't know what the effects are. We don't know how our bodies are going to extrapolate the nutrients from that type of meat. It's lab grown, right? We know nothing about the effects on it on humans. So I'm very skeptical.
Yeah.
I'm very skeptical, and I think you all should be too.
You know what I'm not skeptical about and what's good for the public?
Tell me, Tony.
36Q. Are you looking?
36Q.
That sounds like the Pop Art Boy jingle. We cannot have that. Copyright. So, are you looking to add that extra spark on your wedding, corporate, birthday, or celebratory event? Then look no further, because 36Q has the best 360 video booth solution that will liven up any party. You will be creating unique and new memories available to download onto your phone digitally in seconds. This will allow your guests to share experience, to share their experience with their friends and family on social media, and will definitely help draw in a bigger crowd at your next event. 36Q will bring life to any party and have people raving about it even after the event has come to an end. If you would like to find out more information about their video booth solutions, make sure to follow 36Q on Instagram and TikTok at 36Q Video. Again, at 36Q Video, and check all their videos. It's a hoot. You can also email them at 36qvideo@gmail.com, 36qvideo@gmail.com, and lastly, you can call them directly at 438-863-1017. Don't miss out on this amazing opportunity to make your event the one that stands out from the rest, all while capturing those special and fun-lasting memories forever. Thank you for your
sponsorship.
Oops, because I was reading. Yeah, right. I'm reading and I'm talking, and you spoke over me.
And I was just so proud of you because you were doing such a great job.
Except when
I had to fuck it up. I had to come in there and ruin Tony's moment, guys. It's Fuck It Friday. If you got a drink, raise your glass, take a sip. And
we didn't want to say Fuck It Fridays early because we can get banned on YouTube precipitation.
His nipple is not secreting, ladies and gentlemen. It's the precipitation. It's the condensation from the glass. All right, guys. Moving on to the next topic, the great debate. We've got some interesting ones today, guys, and we'd like your opinion. The first topic, though.
Can I, before to start the next topic? So 6 Buzz TV. So at the number 6 IX 6 Buzz BUZZ TV said, according to a new study, attractive women were more likely to be right wing, while women whose faces displayed content were more likely to be left wing. Now, faces displayed whose faces displayed content. Now, it's hilarious because I was listening to the Chris D'Elia podcast. I hadn't listened in a while, and he spoke about it. This guy is, centrist, and he does right, left, whatever. He's like, but he said right wing women are beautiful, and I'm like, I've never thought of that. And now after this thing comes out, And
No,
you
you're
know,
starting to agree with
I'm agreeing. Obviously you don't want the right wing woman who's like, oh
Well,
fuck,
hold on. Let's take a step back, all right,
all right.
and go back in time for a little bit, okay? Because when the Liberal Party or the Democratic Party was a really strong party, it was really strong in like the 60s, right? And a lot of hippies were liberals, right? And there was something sexy about those hippie ladies back in the day. They were free-willed, free-spirited, willing to experiment and explore. There was something about that openness that was very, very attractive. But now I find liberal women to be a little bit crazy.
But you know why, right? Because the Karens are mostly left wing.
The Karens,
Yeah.
the Karens, you guys, you're destroying the image of the left.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And the Kevins too. The Karens and the Kevins.
I like to call them Kenneth because when I used to work at customer service, the people who used to complain the most were somehow Kenneth. And I don't know why the name Kenneth always sticks out to me when people complain. But yeah, man, I kind of agree. There's this girl who has a country song singing about the SEC, football.
Yes.
It's mostly Southern, blonde, there's that. And, country music women, they're like, I can see that.
That's more of a conservative thing, right?
But they're not really conservative, right? They're
not conservative.
They're freaking the sheets, right?
Most people who listen to country music tend to vote conservative.
Remember,
right?
remember, back in the day for us, it was like the librarian who was conservative and then takes off the glasses, takes out the ponytail. So, me too. There's something about right-wing women that, generally they're from the South. They're blonde.
They got that Southern draw in their speech.
Right? I find my wife too is a bit more like she's not right, like she's centrist like me, but she doesn't deal with the bullshit. Like, oh, nice soft. No, fuck that.
Yeah, she tells it out how it
Stop
is.
crying. Even to my kids, just shut up. She doesn't care to scream.
Mama didn't raise
She doesn't.
Bitch.
She doesn't care to scream in front of the public to the kids. Because nowadays liberal. Oh, come on, when the kid is acting a fool. In the thing. Oh, honey, come. You want me to keep you, baby? And the kid is acting more. No, like my wife. Shut it. Like, stop it right now. And me, I'm like scared because when I get angry at the kids, I talk Armenian. You better shut up right now in Armenian. You better shut up, or when my kid cries loud, hey, stop crying loud. Calm down. Keep it in. Like conservative style. But yeah, man, there's something about it, and I think the left wing in this report, I have a feeling the left wing is mostly because, and a lot of people blame white women who are very liberal, and they're complaining about anything. It's the Karens that really have
absolutely
brought that down. So, next debate. McD.
Hold on, I want to get a drink. Hold on, Tony.
Make sure you cover the Ciroc because I don't think we're allowed to have the.
They can't see anything. Hold on, Tony. So here's what I want to say.
Fill me up, Buttercup.
Back in the day, all right, the liberal women were breaking the mold, the conservative mold, right? Of the women baking the bread during the evenings and making the dinner during the evenings, and the men going out to work during the day. And the liberal women came out and they were appealing because they were going against the norm. But now you've got Karens walking up and down the street going,
no, they're
going, you're appropriating another culture's, whether it be clothing or hairstyle. And here's the thing, guys. None of these cultures asked for these Karens' defense. It's not like they said, it's upon you. It's your responsibility to go out there and make sure you white folk don't wear a sombrero because wearing a sombrero is offensive to Mexican people. There's actually one guy on TikTok who literally dressed in Chinese cultured clothing, all right? And he got tons of flack from all these liberal Karens. You're appropriating their culture. It's not right. And then he goes into Chinatown, and all the Chinese ladies love what he's wearing. Oh, it's super nice. It's beautiful. And then you know what he did? He wore a poncho and a sombrero. And let me tell you, all the Karens again, you're appropriating.
Then he goes to
Then
Mexicans.
he goes to Mexicans. They're like, no, cabron, it's cool with me, man. You know, like, guys, listen, we don't need people poking their noses,
Yeah.
all right, and making issues where there's not. At the end of the day, we're all human beings, all right? We've got 10 fingers and 10 toes. And if I'm dying, all right, and somebody of the opposite sex or opposite race has the blood that I need to sustain my life, I could care less of the color of your skin or the origin of your ethnicity. At the end of the day, you're a human being. That's all I care about. Enough said about that. Moving on to the next debate. This is a good one, Tony. McDonald's versus Burger King. Guys, let us know in the chat what your preference is. Do you prefer McDonald's or do you prefer Burger King? Tony, tell us what you think.
I am a BK guy. I love BK. Listen, I eat more McDonald's, that's for sure, because it's more for us here. There's more access to McDonald's. It's right next to my house.
Yep.
But BK, something I tell my wife, oh, babe, we got to get the BK. Now, I only have one problem with BK. And you know what? Can you put this after in the shots?
Yes.
And tag BK in it, okay?
Ali says Burger King 1,000,000%.
Yes, sir, Ali, my man. Now, Ali, stay, Ali.
It's Alicia.
Alicia, stay. I want you to answer this. Now, back in the day, okay, BK had a buffalo chicken sauce, all right, that they used to give out. They had in the little cups.
Dispenser.
Okay, and they've changed that. Now they have the Heinz one. Now, I don't know what happened. I think McDonald's might have taken the recipe. I don't know what, but I used to love having that with my fries. Now they've changed that and the buffalo sauce, because that buffalo sauce was bomb. I used to always have 2 cups of it. I used to dip my burger in it. Nice, clear up all the freaking nostrils, sinuses, everything. And at the end of the night, when I take a deuce, my ice is spicy. You know,
ice is spicy. He said.
My ass is spicy. Ice spice, munch. I still don't know why that song is popular, but whatever. That's either here or there. So Burger King always is just the distance for me, but if I get a chance, a nice Whopper, always does the trick.
So
I love it.
Let me ask you something, Tony. Do you think that the Whopper has more meat in it than the Quarter Pounder with cheese at McDonald's?
Honestly, the Quarter Pounder with cheese, it's got a different taste. The Quarter Pounder meat is really good. That is for sure. Now, look, when you taste it, the Quarter Pounder is different. 100%. Wendy's is different. BK2 has that good stuff, but I'm talking in general. Burger King overall is the better meat when you compare it to the meat of McDonald's.
Okay.
But if the Quarter Pounder question, that's really tough. You kind of shocked me with that, because the Quarter Pounder meat is really good. It's different.
I find the Quarter Pounder meat is very well seasoned. I find that the Whopper meat isn't as seasoned, and I think that the Whopper's main appeal is the size of the burger itself. But hey, guys, in the chat, let us know your thoughts. Who has the better meat, McDonald's or Burger King? Here's the next question about McDonald's versus Burger King, and I'm going to take the lead on this one, Tony. Who has the better fries? Hands down, McDonald's has the better fries. Although McDonald's does genetically engineer their potatoes so that there are no bruises or whatever those.
How could you mess up potatoes? Though?
No. But they buy a specific type of potato. If that potato bruises, they don't buy it, right?
Oh, okay.
And so what I'm saying is that I find that they have a much better French fry than Burger King does.
Well, you know what? Burger King fries stepped up. I don't know how many years it's been, but the Burger King fries is solid. But McDonald's fries is iconic. We cannot say anything about that. You're hitting me with stuff out of left field, man.
Alicia says McDonald's has the better fries, hands down.
Yeah.
And she's the advocate.
Is Alicia a Republican?
Alicia, let us know. Are you a Republican or are you a Democrat? Are you
or you could be centrist. You could be centrist like us.
Either or. Let us know.
We're on the fence.
Now, who has the better Coca-Cola? Is it McDonald's?
You know why McDonald's has it? It's a simple answer, because McDonald's, they produce the Coca-Cola there.
They produce the Coca-Cola.
Yes.
So in reality, all right, if we were to put all these answers on the scales of justice, McDonald's would be the winner so far because they've won 2 out of 3
Because of the
categories.
sides and the drink. The Whopper,
Yes.
listen, the double Whopper with cheese and bacon is the ultimate. It's the ultimate. It's the ultimate. Yes, quarter pounder, nice. Double quarter pounder.
The quarter pounder
Nice.
BLT, bacon,
Yeah.
lettuce, tomato, and mayo.
Ooh.
Can't go wrong with that one. man.
But the Whopper is they say the Whopper is king.
Alicia says none of the above. She's not left. She's not right. She's not center.
I love. That's good. I like
She's
it.
into herself, and that's all good. We appreciate that. We like that. I'm into myself too.
You are.
All right, moving on to the very last debate. I still think McDonald's is better than BK, but
No,
we'll let
okay.
the audience decide. We'll let the
Yeah. Go eat a McDouble fucking shit.
The next and very last topic for the great debate: Nike versus Adidas. All right.
You start first because you got some, right? Like,
I mean,
or you go, Shane, go.
I've always been a Nike fan. Always. Understanding that the word Nike comes from the Greek word Nikise, which means victory.
You know, in Arabic, Niki Eid, it means fuck.
It means
Niki, fuck.
Niki,
Niki,
fuck.
yeah, Niki.
All right. Audience, you learned something new today. Not any good words, but only bad
Niki
words.
Eid, and Eid means dick. So Niki Eid, you know, they have a joke like that. Okay.
We're definitely getting canceled now. All right. So I think Nike was better, but I think Adidas had a much bigger influence on society simply because of the music industry and most specifically hip hop and rap.
One thing I love, and I don't know who I was telling somebody, I think it was the Adidas soccer jerseys, right? Because they have the stripes. The stripes are iconic, right?
Yes.
And you know, some teams they have the stripes all the way down to here, and lately they have it from here to here. There's something about those stripes, the 3 stripes. It's different, man.
gets you
It's
going.
just it gets me going. Like I get hard, okay, and
You're terrible.
I'll go get hard. But Nike shoes are comfortable. Look, I always went with Adidas because Adidas always had the
Tracksuits, the sweaters.
not only that, but I find Adidas was always more affordable, but Nikes are comfortable. Personally, I love Reebok for some reason because my Frank Thomas
Yes.
running shoes, I love them. I love the Reebok brand, and when they did the triangle with UFC at that time, they had the triangle logo. I love that. They have the foam thing. But Adidas, honestly, I rock with all of them. I have Kyrie Irving's Nike, but because Kyrie wanted Kyrie Irving, who now is not with Nike anymore, but I have his shoes. But he wanted his shoes priced $150 and under so that the kids could buy it.
Right.
I find Nike shoes are way too expensive.
Absolutely.
They're not looking out for the kids. Okay. Adidas, I find the prices are much better. And in terms of depending on where you go on soccer jerseys, Adidas all day. Those 3 stripes, great. New Balance are nice. Look,
This is
somehow
for
we're
Alicia.
wearing New Balance
This
today.
is for Alicia. She says, Nike all the way for shoes. I'm really liking New Balance shoes recently.
Yeah.
So, for anybody who knows me personally, all right,
Nobody knows you.
every sport that I played in Nike. I made it a point to have Nike gear from head to toe. I loved it. I was obsessed with it. It was the only thing I would allow to touch my skin, from t-shirts, shorts, socks, you name it, all right? From beachwear, it was always Nike.
Yeah. He even got my kids Nike outfits.
Literally, the Nike toque for babies, the Nike mitts, the Nike socks,
Yeah.
the Nike onesie, right? And I don't know, recently with this LGBTQ men dressing up in Nike sports women's gear, I
But
can't.
that honestly, that you can say about a lot of companies. They've really gone. They really want to
be inclusive.
be inclusive.
At the end
But
of
look, if a man wants to wear in women's clothes, they can just get a women's sports bra. Like they don't need to advertise that. There's kids that look at this, you know, like as long as they don't touch the kids. Look, people are gonna wear what they want to wear, man. Like, but putting it in commercials, it is a bit weird.
don't
I
know.
agree,
The
but
way that they're doing it, Tony, and the other brands as well, they're not doing it in a smart way. All
Yeah.
right. And it's one thing to be inclusive, and it's another thing to try and push something down someone else's
and just
throat.
to give you context, guys, like we have absolutely zero issues.
Nothing.
If you're an adult and you want to be lesbian, gay, you want to change your sex as an adult, it's fine. Like it's all good. Do you, boo? Do you?
That's
Okay.
it.
But like let's not like when I see on Disney, there's like a pride thing. That's where I go to my kids to show the thing to watch movies. And look, Buzz Lightyear movie. They put lesbian, but they did it very subtle. It was all good. It was all good.
Listen, love is love.
Love is love, yeah.
Perversion is perversion. All right, leave the freaking kids alone.
Yeah. Let's not twerk in front of kids. Let's not
Let's not do that.
let's not do pole dancing in front of kids. That's all.
But at the end of the day, I never really liked Adidas. It wasn't a brand that appealed to me.
You don't like style.
I just didn't. I don't know.
You don't like style.
The 3 lines were basic. All right.
Bro.
The only thing good about Adidas.
It's a fucking line. It's a check mark that is rounded, dude.
The only thing good about Adidas is the acronym. All day.
Kathy, come get your husband. He's talking nonsense. Send him to old folks home.
Sex all day in Dad's apartment. All day.
All day I dream about saying that.
Guys, let us know what you think in the chat. Nike or Adidas.
Reebok.
And the winner will go up against another brand in a future segment of the Great Debate. All right. All right, moving on to our next segment, Conspiracy Talk. And this has been a great segment. We've been receiving a lot of comments on the videos that we've been posting, a lot of interaction and a lot of views. So we decided that we were going to continue with this topic. And this week, the first topic of Conspiracy Talk is The Simpsons predicting future events. And I have to say, I've done a little bit of research, Tony, into this, and it's quite uncanny, the predictions that they have. So the first one, and probably the most popular one, is Donald Trump becoming the president. So this was an episode that aired in the year 2000, and Donald Trump was going down an escalator and in a mall, and everybody was cheering for him. And in 2016, he was actually elected president of the United States of America. And lo and behold, they actually snapped a picture of him going down an escalator in a shopping mall. How uncanny. How uncanny. Tony, how do these writers come up with it?
Honestly, I think the Donald Trump thing was just pure luck. Because you do so many episodes that at some point you gotta be hitting on something, right? Like, look, the submarine thing. Oh, Simpsons predicted it.
Tony,
No,
Homer.
Homer.
I'm calling bullshit because you know what?
No, man, Homer was going down, and it wasn't even the Titanic. It was a freaking pirate ship, and they were getting a treasure chest, and then he got stuck because Homer's a doofus. So what else gonna happen with Homer in a freaking submarine? He's gonna get lost because he's an idiot. Homer's don't. And then people go, how did the Simpsons predict the submarine? It wasn't even the Titanic. And dude, there's 100 shows. Of course, on one of the shows, Homer's gonna go on a submarine. He was picking up a treasure chest. It has nothing to do. The coronavirus. They put Corona next to the news reporter. It wasn't Corona. It was the China virus, which, funny enough, Trump did it, but
Called it the China virus.
they pushed the envelope so much that they could make fun of somebody in China who's prepping boxes, shipping to U.S., and he sneezed in the box, and
So you're saying, Tony, it's all a coincidence.
it's
right?
all like, honestly, like it's too much. Like the Donald Trump is it was just funny, the Donald Trump thing, and it's all like this week. What triggered me? It was the submarine thing. It had nothing to do with even the coronavirus. I saw the episode. People were saying Corona, like they put Corona as though it is actual the coronavirus. No, it wasn't. But it was a China virus, if I remember the episode, which is, but you do so many episodes. Simpsons have so many episodes
Tony,
for years and years and years. It's going to be, something's going to hit that is similar to what's going to happen in the real world.
What is uncanny is sometimes the timing. But listen, at the end of the day, Tony, what you're saying is if I purchased a lottery ticket from day one, all right, and I kept purchasing lottery tickets, all right, every week, eventually I'd become a winner. I find that mentality to be false because there are people out there who literally buy tickets.
But this is not lottery. This is not numbers being hit. This is people.
It is the exact same thing. It is the odds, Tony. What is the likelihood, all right, that someone comes up with a cartoon, draws it up 16 years before the actual event happens, and then it happens?
Look, man, they were just joking around because Donald Trump has said he'd run for president one day. This was like many, many years ago, even before that episode. So maybe they took that of, oh, let's do this. You know, and then Donald Trump ran and it happened how it happened.
Well, here's the next one. All right. The next prediction that we're covering today is The Simpsons predicted the Disney and Fox merger. So this was an episode that aired in 1989, and in 2019, Disney acquired Fox. So here is another example of them putting something out there, right? And in Tony's words, what he's saying is, they're taking shit, throwing it on the wall, and seeing what sticks, right? And now, almost 22 some odd years later, we're trying to make a correlation between an episode that aired 20 some odd years ago and what's happening with current events. But I find it uncanny. And the last one was The Simpsons on 3 different occasions predicted the Super Bowl winner in that year.
Yeah, what about Back to the Future? They predicted the Miami baseball team won the World Series, and then they ended up winning because Miami didn't have a team back then. So in the future, it was like Miami wins the World Series. Oh, there's no Miami, but the year was exactly the same.
Right, because they had the almanac, right? The almanac told them.
So what? It's gonna be Back to the Future predicted. That guy predicted. No, he was just lucky because he just said, oh, there's no team in Miami. We're gonna do Back to the Future to this year. And Michael J. Fox is going to go to this year, and it's 2019 or whenever Miami won the thing. Oh, you know what? They didn't predict. We're not hoverboarding. The cars aren't flying. F you, bro. F you. What? Just because they got one thing right in Back to the Future, Back to the Future predicted it. No, it was just fucking luck, man. The guys were just trying to say outlandish shit just for a show or for a movie. That's all it is.
Tony's not a believer, ladies and gentlemen.
No, and look, I told you.
The Simpsons aren't predicting shit. All right, moving on to the next conspiracy theory. This one had Tony's eyebrows up to the back of his head. We all know who Bob Ross is. And for those of you who don't know who Bob Ross is, he was the gentleman that was on PBS with an afro who would paint paintings every afternoon for you folks at home. Well, there's a conspiracy with regards to Bob Ross being a serial killer. All right? I know it sounds crazy, right? How could somebody on TV who makes paintings and, brings peace to the world be a serial killer? Well, it turns out that he painted a painting of a mountain and called it Happy Accidents. And this mountain resembles an actual mountain in the United States where 14 murder victims were found.
That is pretty wild.
What a coincidence.
Look, man, honestly, when you told me this, that we're going to talk about this, I'm like, how? And then the whole... Look, honestly, I don't even know what to say. I didn't know what to say in the car. I don't know what to say now. It is wild. And look, it is possible. A lot of people, maybe they can cover up. Maybe they have skeletons in their closet.
No one knows what happens behind closed doors.
No one knows. And look, the guy kind of talks like a serial killer. Let's be real.
Let's be real.
Look, Jeffrey Dahmer had bodies. There was only one woman that thought, oh, the smell. Yeah. It's weird, this and that. And
he seems like a peaceful guy. No one would suspect him to be, violent in any way.
Bob Ross for sure, serial killer vibes. Man. Yo,
he's for sure. Listen, let's be realistic. If Bob Ross came up to you in the middle of the street and said, hey, would you like to go for a drink or would you like to come see my art?
Dude.
People would be like, no. Yeah, absolutely, 1,000%.
Oh, hell no, what?
Them, right?
The way he talks, I'll be like, kids, come, let's go. No, no, I gotta go with my kids. I gotta take him. No, no. The way he talks, it's creepy.
It's creepy.
He's
but
got
it's
children.
calm.
He's got children
It's
locked up
calm.
somewhere.
It's soothing. It's not like
Yeah, calm, soothing. And then when you wake up, you gotta hurt
you don't wake
pooper.
up.
You gotta hurt pooper.
You got a pooper.
Hurt pooper.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, listen, the FBI has investigated it. I think it's an open investigation to this day. But it's crazy how he paints a painting of a mountain, calls it Happy Accidents, and there's actually a mountain that resembles it, like literally to the T, and 14 murder victims.
And you know he did it on purpose
there.
because he was a good painter.
He was very good at his craft, apparently.
Apparently.
Guys, let us know what your thoughts are. Do you think Bob Ross gives off the serial killer vibe?
100%.
All right, guys, our next sponsor, Swag IPTV. If you want to learn how to access over 3,500 live TV channels, which include live sports, local and international channels, along with on-demand movies and TV series on your Fire Stick, Android, or Apple device, then go to www.swagiptv.com for all the details on how you can access all your favorite TV shows and sports live at home or on the go. Thank you very much, IPTV Swag, for your sponsorship. We love you very much.
Amazing product, guys. Please check it out. Go to the site immediately. You won't regret it. Forget the cable. Cut those wires off. Man, get yourself this. You'll save money, and you'll get a lot of channels as well.
All right, moving on to our very last topic of the day, and thank you so much for joining us on Fuck It Fridays. We usually air on Sundays, but fuck it, it's Friday. We're happy to be here, and we're happy to have you with us. But the very last topic for today is what peeves me off. It's one of our favorites. We like to get things off our chest. And the first topic is people who don't say thank you once you've held the door open for them. You are a terrible human being.
Like, even if you whisper it, even if you're an introvert, thank you, a nod, there's that. And you know, like, I'm the type of person, like, if I see somebody at the bottom of the stairs and I hold the door, like, I'm waiting for them, kind of. And we also have to, like, discuss maybe in future now, like, how far away do they have to be for you to hold the door open? For me, even when there's a two-door entrance, thank you.
Alicia agrees she cannot stand those people. Where did you grow up? Honestly, did you grow up in the alley?
Did your mom hurt you?
Did your mom? And you know what? There's always those people, the arrogant ones, who look you dead in the eye and walk through the door and purposefully say nothing. You're scum. You're dirt. You are worse than the dirt in between my toenails. That's how disgusting you are as individuals.
And that shit stinks.
But you know what I heard, Tony? I heard there was a Canadian who moved to the United States, and it's like they don't believe in this type of etiquette in certain places where you say good morning to somebody and they don't say anything to you. My experience has been completely different. Everywhere I've gone in the States, I say. But
usually the southern, that's why they call Southern hospitality. They generally are very kind.
Yes.
It's, I think, the city folks
They're
that the city folks are not polite. I believe.
Yeah.
Like New York, maybe the main city. You know.
But how could you literally walk through a door that someone has held open for you? Like what can you imagine what that person might feel like? Or do they just not even care? Do they not think about it? Do they not care? Or do they think poorly of themselves for behaving this way?
Even on my worst day when I'm tired as hell, maybe even if I'm on a hangover, somehow, thank you. Like, whisper, like, thank you. Pas de problème. Like, as long as that confirmation, as long as I get the confirmation, them saying no problem, they heard me. Yeah. You know, even on my worst day, whether it be hangover or just tired in general, or don't want to talk to anybody, haven't had the cup of coffee.
The cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee, oh yeah. Cup of coffee and the cream of the crop, oh yeah. Cream of the crop, yeah. Macho Man Randy Savage. Okay, holding the door, saying thank you. Guys, be nicer to each other. That's what we're talking
It's
about.
not that hard, man.
There's evil in the world, and this is where a little thing could help.
You know what I think they should do? I think we should shame these people by taking a picture of them and putting them on doors for other people to see and know that, oh, we shouldn't hold doors for these people.
But then that will go against one of our other pet peeves of today. Taking pics. You can't take pics of people, man. Was that a good segue? That was not as good.
Because I think these people should be shamed. I think they should be publicly shamed, all right, for being a terrible person in society.
But see, then if you're publicly shaming them, then now you're becoming a bad person.
No, I'm not, because I'm behaving correctly. All right? I'm being the good guy. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen. You let us know. You let us know. Are these the scum of society? The people who don't say thank you once you help them?
Every pet peeve we have, scum of society.
All right, we've got another one. This is Tony's pet peeve. Nipple twisting and pinching.
Like, just touch. Well, last time there was something that came, a friend of my wife, and she, hi, Tony. And look, my nipples like are outies, like just naturally. Like I'm not. Oh, Tony, you're hard, eh? Are you cold? But like no, it's just I gotta wear sometimes shirts that have a logo over it. So when somebody touches, like, don't touch me, bro. Don't touch.
Do you have nipples that could cut glass?
Yeah, probably. You know, my brother luckily was born with like nipples that go inside, like it goes
inside. Like
me, I don't have that. It's crazy. Like I need to get one of those shirts that don't pop it up. Like it's a thing I have.
Tony was born with outies.
Yeah, and it's I don't like people touching, or some people do this to me sometimes. I keep it in, dude. I keep it in.
Stick to the nipples.
As long as
stick to the nipples.
You grab my cack. That's all you can touch. If my wife agrees to it,
don't touch the nipples.
Don't touch my nipples. Don't pull my thing. Don't touch my nose. Like, you know, so don't touch me.
The way Tony talks about this, for any of you folks out there who are comic book enthusiasts and watch Marvel movies, he reminds me of the character Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy, who has sensitive nipples. It seems as though he's got some pretty sensitive nipples and issues with his nipples.
I do, man. Like
and now Z knows what to do to Tony the next time he sees him.
Z all fucking good, bro. Z.
See what happens when we become vulnerable. Our friends will use it against us. I think, to be honest with you, after high school, you should have outgrown the nipple pinching and twisting phase. I think that, you know, it was more of a bully tactic back then.
But even like people do it out of love, you know, just like they don't pinch it as hard, but like don't touch.
I don't know. Listen, if I'm gonna flick somebody's nipple, it's gonna be my wife's. That's it. I'm not down for flicking my boy's nipples. Obviously, it makes Tony uncomfortable. So now that I know that, I won't do it. But yeah, the only nipples I'm interested in flicking are women's nipples, and I'm sure you ladies out there have something to say about men.
But it's more sensual. You're not gonna. Hey, honey. You know.
No, but let's be realistic.
You're gonna be sensual about it.
Let's be realistic. We see a nice pair of boobs. We become little kids, man.
Yeah.
We become little kids around a nice pair of boobs. Like, oh, I want to flick it, and do all these. I don't know. We stop being normal, and we revert back to our immature self.
Oh yeah, and like, as men, we're immature as hell.
Has flown out the window.
It's funny because Interludes joined us, and all he hears is boobs, and nipples, and this all he's hearing. This guy, Z, also same thing.
This is the best. We saved the best for last. That's what we did.
Look, all I see you on the video is doing this.
Hey Tony, let me ask you something. Since we're on the nipple subject,
oh boy, where are you going?
Should men allow their girlfriends or wives or women or whatever to suck their nipples if they're women are into that? Should we allow our women to suck our nipples?
I've never met a woman that was into that. There's nothing there for us.
Like I don't know. I got like hair around my nipple, so I don't think it would be a great experience.
No.
Sucking on my nipple and having a hair. I mean, it's probably comparable.
It's so weird to me. I don't want to have the conversation.
It's probably comparable to having like a pubic hair in your mouth, which is pretty disgusting. But hey, it happens. It happens.
See, people left because you talked about it.
Hey, what can I do, guys? What can I do? Alicia's saying my husband would never allow her to suck.
Alicia's good people. Alicia's good people from
No,
what I know.
she's just saying her husband would never. We don't know if Alicia has that fetish and wants to suck her husband's nipples. I don't know if men's nipples are even attractive in the first place. You know, Tony being, you know, Armenian, the Armenian culture have some very hairy individuals.
And I'm not that hairy, so.
And you're not that hairy, but you have family members who
Oh,
are.
yeah.
And let me tell you, I think you would need a machete to cut through some of the hair just to get to the nipple on some of your family members. But moving on to the very last.
This is the worst.
This is the worst. And if you're one of them, I'm sorry. We're willing to lose you as a follower. But it's those people who take pictures of their food in restaurants. And I don't mean, you know, you're sitting politely down and you're, you know, very quietly and, you know, discreetly taking it. I'm talking about the people who are standing up on top of the chair to get an overhead view of the food that you're about to eat. Who are you? What are you doing? Do you observe? Like, are you conscious of what you're doing? Do you know what it looks like to other people who are watching you climb restaurant furniture to take pictures of food?
The best part is sometimes when you see these people on dates and the girl is to try and take a right picture and the guy is there, and you see the guy is like kind of annoyed by it. And Sevi Soul saying taking pics of food is how social media started.
I agree.
Right. But look, if you're doing a review, it came before the selfie. That will be something next week.
That's next week.
Yeah, the bathroom selfie, another. Stop. Don't shit where you pick.
Don't pick.
Yo, look, we have friends, you know, as friends, we have our chat group where we take what we're barbecuing.
Yes.
You know, hey, you want to come over? We joke around like that, but that's in like privacy of your own home.
Exactly.
When you're doing it and the boyfriend is standing there waiting. Oh, no, hold on, I didn't take it right. Let me.
My favorite thing on social media is when I see these boyfriends who are observing their girlfriends about to take a picture of their food, and they purposely put their hand and mash the food up.
Oh, awesome. I've never seen that.
You guys are my heroes. You are literally my hero for doing that.
If I see that, I'm going to ask the guy for an autograph.
Literally, you're my hero, man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to want to make a baseball card out of you, and I'm going to want to keep it in a sleeve, and I'm going to want to have it tested and graded, and it's going to be memorable and epic.
Yeah, man. I love, honestly, that would be my hero. Autograph.
I don't know, man. Like, coming from my generation, it's heavily bizarre to see somebody taking pictures of the food that they're about to eat. I mean,
just in general nowadays, with social media, it's like, oh, look what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Look, you know what? Last time, like, I was just taking, I was biking with my kids and my wife, and I took a video from the back. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm not going to share this on social media. I'm going to put it in my phone. And in the future, I'm going to look at it. Like, I have a bunch of videos that I've taken of my kids, and I never shared it on social media. But when I look at it, you know, it's like a memory for me, right? Why am I? Sometimes, you know, people on my family members that are on social media, it's like, oh, sometimes I like, that's the only reason I post. Sometimes I like seeing, because you know, extended family, my cousins, or my cousin's aunt from their father's side, because my cousins are from my mother's side mostly. Stuff like that. Like, oh, I like seeing your kids grow, you know? Like, so for that, I'll put maybe here or there kids, but like, you know, the other day I did the bicycle. I even showed my kid, I got him a Giannis Antetokounmpo jersey. He loved it. Like, should I post? No, I'm not going to post it. I just shared it to my cousins who love basketball. And they're like, oh, sick, you know? And then my cousin sent a picture. Here's Giannis Antetokounmpo's jersey. I showed my son. So sometimes extended family members want to see your kids. They don't see them a lot because we see them once a year.
What we're
That's
talking
fine.
about is completely different. You know?
No, but I know. But the food is just, I'm just saying, like, in general, social media has become a thing. Oh, I'm doing this.
Yes.
I'm doing this tonight. I'm doing this tonight.
And can you
look
imagine
at me?
Boyfriend, like, guys, how do you guys feel if you're dating somebody who does this and they demand you to take 15 pictures of you posing in the booth with your food, right? And 15 different, oh, I didn't like the lighting. No, dude. I mean, how do you feel? I personally would be quite embarrassed all right, having to take a camera roll of pictures of you posing in 15 different poses before we eat a meal in front of other people. I mean, did we come here to experience you, or did we come here to experience food?
So everyone sees that overcooked steak, Linda. Sevi, so who the hell is Linda?
Look at Linda. Look at. Guys, that's our show for today. Thank you so much for each and every one of you who joined and who subscribed and followed and shared. We appreciate every single one of you. We know we were premature this week, but as we mentioned before, we had a very compact schedule this weekend, and so we decided to come out on Bucket Fridays and give you what you're looking for the weekend. So thank you again for joining. Amanda says, or running towards seagulls.
Because there was, when we went on the weekend trip, there was a girl, her boyfriend was recording her running after the seagulls. And we thought we were going to see that in the social media. We didn't. She kept it for herself, but that was funny. We were all watching from the top. What's happening? You see a girl running after seagulls and the boyfriend recording. Unwillingly, probably, but it was hilarious. Or running towards Canada geese.
I'll be honest with you.
It is geese, Cozy. It is geese. It wasn't seagulls.
I'll be honest with you. I get annoyed even if my wife asks me to take pictures for her. I'm like, you've got your phone right there. That's it. That's all it takes to take a picture, right?
All right,
guys. Thank you so much for joining. We really appreciate it. We'll be back next week at the same regular time.
And your mic is off, so I will lead it off. Every little thing I do never seems enough for you. You don't want to lose it again. I'm not like them. Baby, when you finally get to love somebody, guess what? It's gonna be me. Shant! Y'all see Shant?